If you like what I make and want to help out the channel, make sure you subscribe to it, turn on notifications, leave a like on the video below, and comment as well. Thanks for your support, guys.
Hey there YouTube, welcome back to another day, another video for you guys. Now here's the deal, what you guys are seeing on screen right now is some fighting action. Last night at like 1 a.m, of course, when I'm about to go to bed, I hear that alarm in my head like, yo, there's war going on. So we figured, well, we were talking for a little while that there's gonna be war, and as you can see, bam, we're fighting right here. We're fighting BTO, I think they're called. It's a guild that was really close to us. They are not there anymore, you guys. Well, they will be. They're still there. Like, by the way, heads up, I recorded 2 videos today, so I'll look the same in the next video as well, but just don't worry about it. These guys right here, they just like parked very close to us, and we wanted essentially to get rid of them. Well, IOB wanted to get rid of them because they wanted something within their territory, so we helped them out. This one right here was my first actual fight, my first actual war. This was actually my first encounter. It's really cool. It's really cool. The fact that in some situations, you'll see I have more footage coming up where we surrounded troops and when we destroyed people, and you can see like we're falling back here, but the fallback is actually just to pull a few people closer to us to spread them out a little bit, and then we pushed back in, and you'll see in a second we're about to turn around and just plow back in, or like screw it, we're going in. The thing that I learned here was, well, primarily that war is all about like actually being super attentive to your troops. You need to know where your marches are, what's going on. What you can't just send a march somewhere or send an attack and just go take care of another march, because you never know what's creeping around the corner. So basically what ended up happening here is that, as you can see, we fended them off even though they were surrounding us for a little bit, and it was like kind of an even battle, but then they got kind of destroyed. Our goal was really just to like aggress on them, get rid of one of their flags, or get rid of all their flags for that matter, and we essentially said screw it, we're gonna go towards the one flag. We're not gonna let it get reinforced too much. We're gonna wait on IOB, who were supposed to place another flag on top, like closer to their flag. The reason for that is because apparently, and I learned that yesterday trying, you cannot attack another flag from outside your territory. So if you want to get as close as possible to the flag in order to attack it, you have to have an adjacent flag to it so that the march is much slower. As you can see here, some of the reports of the fighting, my reports. I don't really know how much I did there. The reports in this game are a bit frustrating, and I recommend you guys to just pause the video and take a better look if you want. So you see we had a bunch of attacks right there, just a few reports. I think that the one thing about this war system is like the actual report is kind of very weird, because like I have the victory when someone had 44,000 troops. I wounded like 1,000 and then they're gone. So if my teammates wounded a lot more, then I should be able to see it. As you can see right here, we were aiming at this Varus guy, and what we did is we made them start reinforcing him, and my teammates, my alliance mates who were fighting bravely while my troops were marching in, which was a 10-minute march, were just surrounding that little flag down there. They were also staying around this castle, making like reinforcements come in, and this is where the thing I said about you can't just leave a march going comes in. You can see right here that a fellow alliance member realizes that there is this march that's coming towards the flag to reinforce the flag. Someone said, okay, guys, quickly reinforce the flag, they were gonna attack it. So someone just sent reinforcements to the flag and just forgot about it, right? What ended up happening is that our troops got positioned in a way that, as you can see right here, he just looked at the path of the reinforcements, which are coming right there, and he just stood on the path and waited them out. Now, if the guy was actually following and making sure that, you know, his path is clear and there's no one nearby, he would have noticed it and he could have stopped his march. But he didn't. And IOB instantly realized what we're doing, and they realized that most of the paths towards that flag can't cross through this little area of forest. So they just came up with us and kind of helped out. This was an awesome battle because for the first time I really saw like what a team can do against one march, which is super neat. I think it's so cool that like one guy can send a march to reinforce someone or something, or to even get closer, and then this happens. Look at this. Look at him and look at us. And IOB, like, and us kind of didn't hit each other, which was really cool. It's like really easy. Just you gotta remember to hit the right target. And look at the damage. Those troops did not make it to that flag. He took a massive hit. And by the time he realized it, it was probably a little too late. I actually got hit pretty hard myself. You'll see in a little bit. As we get closer to that, I'll explain to you what happened. This is pretty much like pieces of the fight, like as it happened. Like I cut down the video to about, this looked like about a 20-minute video, which is a lot in my opinion. Here we had another BTO guy trying to come into the flag who got like massively destroyed. And it's just one of those things when you're like, listen, this is crazy, because every march you send, someone can intercept it along the way and destroy you. And if you're not really paying attention as to where all the troops are, it's a big problem. And it's interesting also that you can actually, as I explained in a previous video, you can stop your march, you can switch the march, you can switch its target, you can switch what it's doing. So like, you can have all these troops reinforcing a guy, and then all of a sudden have them come back to your, and you have people like us standing around. And if you know there is one guy or two guys, or like you know you can probably beat the forces that are out there, you can come out, like pretend like you're going back home, and then reroute your march, which is really cool. I was about 3 minutes out. These guys decided to attack Varys. Now Varys was like a 900,000 power guy, and it was just so strong. Like, he was also super reinforced. Like, all of the reinforcement places he had were full, because when we set our marches to get closer to their flag, we set it to attack on Varys just for the shits and giggles, right? So right here is about 896, 895,000 and going down 1,000 at a time. It was a rough fight, but eventually he will burn. You can see here that one of my guildmates jumped the gun a little bit, trying to, you know, get this kill. You know, we're all pumped up trying to get stuff done, and he got kind of hit back. But you'll see in a little bit that one of our stronger members, who has tier 3s already, came in and just wiped this guy out. If there's one thing I really learned here, is that I cannot be in a war just like, you know, I'll send troops and go back to war. If you're gonna fight, if you're gonna do your thing, it's like a full-time thing. You gotta keep an eye on all these things, and you can coordinate so well. You can tell all your guildmates, listen, I want you guys, or your alliance mates, to like set up your troops close to this castle. So you set them an area, and they all send like gatherers or something like that, or they hit barbarians nearby, and everyone brings their troops closer, and slow and steady, like if the guy's not paying attention, you can surround them and just pounce on them. So here comes Abe. She's like our strongest member, and she just destroyed this guy. I was kind of looking for my march, seeing what the heck is going on. One thing is that it was my first time recording a fight, and I was not gonna not post it. So a lot of things were not recorded nicely, I guess. I still haven't figured out how to record fights properly. This was the first one I was even part of, and it was like, as I explained, I had to pay so much attention to my troops, to where I am. As you see, I'm coming in closer, and this guy had like a march pretty close coming in for the castle. I was like, for the flag, and he was following my friend, trying to pretty much beat him up. So I was like, you ain't beating up my friend. That's not how it works. And yeah, it's like, what are we doing? Do we attack the castle? Do we attack this guy? This guy had a stronger, faster march, so he actually managed to get away, which is why we diverted into Varys, who's 864,000 power by now. You can see that BTO started fighting back. You can see Varys actually came out of nowhere to fight as well. And you will notice right now that my two marches are going closer to Varys, and look how many troops are starting to converge on me. The mistake I made was that I didn't think about the fact that, with the exception of Abe, who was pretty hurt because of this victory on Varys, there was no one around me. There were like two barely alive troops. So what they did is they came out of the reinforcements, out of the flag, as you can see, and it was my 2 troops, my 2 like marches against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people at the end. Like yeah, this wasn't pretty. Like, I got pretty beat up. I did a lot of damage apparently. I don't understand the reports well enough yet. It frustrates me that they're not like super clear, but I can understand why they're not, because if you want to have like a proper report, then it would be a bit more complex, as more than one person hit the one marching troop. So it's like, it tells you on the victory of that troop what you did, I guess, but it's still really weird to me. So you can see that the game, of course, tried to get me, you know, to get an aid package, and one of my marches got obliterated and ran back home. The other one, I kind of didn't notice that it was still alive. I was like, screw it, we're gonna stay. No, we're gonna go back. And then I see that, I was like, okay, so hold on. I see another guy who's very weak. I see 2 other like BTO guys who are pretty weak. I only have 7,000 troops left. But I was like, screw it. It's either I lose it all and I walk back home shamelessly, knowing that I fought till the end, or I don't know what. This guy thankfully didn't notice me for a little bit. I did a little bit of damage on him. Remember, I only have like 7,000 troops. He was focused on someone else. And then, yeah, he counterattacked and defeated me. Now, a lot of things happened in this war. A lot of chaos. But also, I was very impressed about how much you can coordinate. As you can see right here, some of the reports. I had a few. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people attacked me at the same. Started and stopped attacking me at the same time. 6 different marches hit me at some point in here. And here we have 5 different marches that hit me at some point in here. And it was like, whew, my lord. And the crazy thing is, I actually had loads of resources, which I guess when we hit Varys, we stole some of his resources. I only noticed it like a little bit later when my troops died. It's just a kind of a weird thing. Again, I still don't understand all the mechanics too well. What I can tell you is this: 18,000 troops to heal, my friend, is expensive. Look at this. 450,000 of each resource, and I was so low. I didn't think, like, I wasn't ready for war. I told you, like, we weren't planning on it. Now what you're seeing here is I got tired, right? I was like, screw it, I want to attack a castle. So someone said, let's find a smaller castle to attack. So I parked my 2 guys in the forest, and I was about to attack. I was waiting. As you see, my teammates were coming in closer. I posted the cords. I was already close, just camping in the woods, chilling, waiting. And I had to hype up the chat, you know what I mean? I had to be the hype guy. I was like going 100, like I was pumped. I was pumped to fight, man. I was pumped to fight. So I was like, this is Sparta, and send the message, get out real quick, march, 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 and we just slayed this guy. Poor guy. And it was pretty funny because like all my guildmates are like laughing their ass off, their alliance mates laughing their ass off, and like it took him a second to realize that I started going, and all of a sudden they all come in. They all come in. And this was a great example of raiding a city. It was pretty low, like I wouldn't be able to finish him myself. And what I did here, actually, I noticed that when my guildmates, my alliance mates came in, they weren't taking too much damage. I was taking the main damage, and my troops were like halfway down there. So I pulled them back and I sent them back in. Now it's a little bit of a dick move, right? Because someone else took the L for that, because once he stopped attacking me, he went to someone else. But still, like, I wanted to stay around because it was like 1:30 a.m. 10-minute march. I'm not gonna remarch. Like, I don't have the time to like march back 10 minutes, march forward 10 minutes. It'll be 2 a.m. by the next fight. We won this guy. We destroyed him. We had a lot of fun. Okay, I picked up a decent amount of kills for one night for like an hour and a half worth of stuff. And I was like, yo, this is next thing. And you see our leader there laughed at my comment. I was like, yo, let's go this way for next. But the plan changed a little bit, you know, things happen. It is what it is. We slowly got a little bit closer, and then we're like, you know what? Maybe there's a different thing we need to do. At the end of the day, we were trying to maintain the flag with the least amount of reinforcements possible, and we saw that they were again coming out of the flag, trying to attack like the one guy that was standby right there. So like you can see that the target I sent to all my guildmates was, everyone was going towards it. But once we realized BTO came out, we're like, yo, yo, screw this castle, man. And he also shielded, which was funny, man. This is the first time we actually managed to get someone to shield. That was hilarious. I think that made my night. But look at this fight. Look at what's going on in here. I was so pumped, man. I've played a game like this. I explained it before, Lords Mobile, and even during like rallies and great rallies and like, ooh, we did like crazy damage and all that, it was never as like exciting as this, because this can flip on its head within a second. A set of our troops can come in, or two sets of troops can come in out of nowhere, or come out of reinforcements, or come out of a flag, or come out of a castle, or whatever, and all of a sudden everything changes. All of a sudden, like, we're fighting up on the top of the screen, but these guys are up down below at the bottom of the screen, and it's like guildmates are going down, they're getting hit, like complete chaos. Complete chaos. I think that it can only get crazier from here. I've watched a few videos of other wars, of like the fort wars and stuff like that, like pretty crazy stuff. I am so pumped for this. It's so cool. I'm showing you here about 244,000 kills. Like last time when we started, I think I had like 114,000. So it was pretty neat. Like, you know, we got in the fight. I was like, listen, once my troops die, I'm gone. Like once my troops go back home, I'm gone. I'm going to bed. I need a heal. I'm going to bed. Screw it. But even here, when I had low troop count, which was like 16,000 of each, and I can lead like 50 some, I still managed to, you know, keep fighting these guys. And even though I thought I was going to pretty much get wiped, I really didn't get that wiped. It was a pretty tough battle for them. One BTO guy loses in a second, and the other one I think ends up taking me out. But that's two of my marches, which are almost dead. One of my teammate, my alliance mates, who is like halfway, and 5 of them. And we took out 1, 2, 3 within an instant, and then the 4th one I think ends up getting me. Or I don't remember exactly if I managed to get away. I think I said here like I have 7,000 troops, and I see one guy that is super weak that's fighting me. So I reversed, like I turned around and just attacked him. Then he got wiped out because of my counterattacks and my guildmate who attacked him as well. At this point, I knew I was getting away. So I was like, you know what? Do I attack? Do I not attack? Screw it. 7,000 troops. I might as well lose it all. I don't care. They're not dead. I did lose some troops. I think I ended up losing probably like 10 or 13,000 troops, which in hindsight seems like a lot, but I'm used to Lords Mobile, man. I'd lose like 200, 300,000 troops in a KVK or something like that. You'd lose like 20,000 troops, best case scenario, in a rally. So like all this fighting, an hour and a half of straight up brawls. The only sad part was that my city was far, so it was like a 10-minute walk every time. That's the only thing that's kind of disappointing. And as you guys can see on the screen, I also had one set of troops that wasn't fighting because it was gathering, and I just don't have another war leader yet. This video was pretty long. The next one's also going to be a little long. I'm not too much of a fan. Final reports are right here. I'm not a fan of too long videos, but like when you have to, you have to. I want to show you guys the report before I go. The positioning of the camera moved a little bit, you know, because I had to show you as much action as possible. Right here, I got smacked by 4 hits again. It was pretty painful. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I learned a ton. If you guys want more of this kind of stuff, I might just make like montages and like put some music instead of having me talking. But this was my first time, and I kind of wanted to explain things. So yeah, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think about this video. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, anything, you know. I am the Gekko. I am out of here. Thank you very much for all your continuous support, fellas and ladies. Peace.